Oh, goody, ladies and gentlemen. According to the internet's most emotionally unstable right-wing fascist troll, we have discovered the problem that's facing America, the biggest problem. And the biggest threat, it's not militarized sleeper cells, it's not foreign influence, it's not even our own government. No, it is women. That's right, Nick Fuentes, the right-wing extremist, has now said that women are the biggest threat to our country. And gee, I wonder why he might think that.
All women grow old, they all get fat. Says the guy, have you ever had sex?
No, absolutely not.
Wow, says the guy who's never got laid.
Now look, I'm all for body autonomy, but I just have a hunch that might have something to do with Nick Fuentes' feelings on women. And look, most of his other beliefs, I can't even say on this channel because I will get shadow banned. It's that bad, all right? The Southern Poverty Law Center, they say that he is an extremist, an anti-Semitic extremist. The American Jewish Committee says that he has real-world consequences and he has caused many, many issues in this country. He was one of the big players in the Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville. So I'm going to read you the quote from Nick Fuentes, and it is disgusting, so I apologize for that. But he says, women get sent to the gulags first, obviously. Which women? All women. Every woman and girl is sent to the gulags. We will determine who the good ones are after the fact. Well, what about the good ones? What about the trad ones? First of all, there are no trad ones or good ones. Second of all, we'll determine which ones are acceptable after they are all imprisoned. Then we let them out. You have to do it because they are our political enemies. You want to know our number? This is unironically just true. The number one political enemy in America is women. There is so much to unpack there. And to say nothing about saying there are no good women, calling prisons gulags. I mean, who the hell this guy thinks he is? He's some Call of Duty troll. But this is the sign of a weak man who is losing control. And it is absolutely something you see all over the right. The manosphere right now is absolutely on fire. Why? Because we are winning. We are getting closer and closer to gender equality than we've ever been before. And people like Nick Fuentes, who seemingly can't get a girlfriend and can't connect with women, can't connect with half of the country. They see their grip loosening. They see that they are about to fall off themselves into a social gulag. The problem is that they keep getting an audience. It is something that is absolutely baffling to me that these guys out here, these guys who disrespect every single group of people other than themselves, are absolutely going nuts. And again, I've got to say this. I mean, Nick Fuentes' worldview is a lot like OxyClean. You know, the whites get whiter. And that's pretty convenient when you pretty much have to wear a robe, you know, those robes, to every single one of your group meetings. And those groups are having to rally around each other because the world is shrinking on them. Women are gaining power. Minorities are gaining power. And that's why you hear people scream about DEI all the way up to a more mainstream friendly version of saying, oh, the world has gone woke. We're fighting woke. So it's not that big of a stretch to look at a Nick Fuentes saying these extreme, awful ideas like sending all women to prison and calling them the number one issue in America. And this is the talking point that the right is using right now behind their Voter Rights Act, right? You're seeing this voter ID law that discriminates against everybody. not only are you going to have to try to have a passport that's expensive, but it specifically disenfranchises women. Women are going to have, if they don't have a passport, are going to have a birth certificate and an ID that matches their name. Well, women, a lot of them take their husband's name, so they don't have that birth certificate. So just like anybody who's had to go get a real ID, they're going to have to go sit in some office for hours, taking off work, having to get childcare, just to get the paperwork for the chance to vote. It is absolutely discriminatory. And this is how they rob women of power. And again, it is not a far cry from a Nick Fuentes saying, lock them all up, half the population, to the Republicans in Congress saying, hey, you know what? It's not a bad idea if we make women have to jump through twice as many hoops as men just for the right to vote. And look, maybe, just maybe, if you're the people that are trying to take away the rights of women, then you're not the Freedom Party. And maybe if you're saying, hey, women should be locked up, you're not the freedom guy. But just remember that people like Nick Fuentes are getting loud because we are winning. Keep that in mind.
A corrupt congressman, his faithless henchwoman. Together they've sold justice to the highest bidder. But when a boy's death threatens their empire, they'll lie, bribe, kill to keep their secrets buried. Only one man remembers, and this time, the system's fixers are the ones getting fixed. A death in Arcadia. Every secret has a price,